Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to some more round 1 of the World Series. Today we have U-ROLI against aka-goisUber. We're on Tournament Desert, which of course is the starting map. Best of 7. Not too sure about the level of both of these players, to be honest. aka-goisUber, I might have played a few times before, but I really can't remember. I don't think so. And then we've got U-ROLI. I have no idea what either of these two names mean, by the way, so if anyone wants to tell me what any of these names mean, then I'll be delighted to find out, because I have no clue. U-ROLI, I think, is a pretty good player. I think I saw him beat or go pretty evenly against a good player recently, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure he did. So I'm expecting U-ROLI maybe to go through on this one. I'm not 100% sure, but let's see. We've got GLA against Nuke, was it? Or China? Or Tank? Or Inf? I don't think it's Nuke, because you can see the power plant looks like another China, so we'll see what it was. In a second, we've got some nice map control from aka-goisUber. 2 RPGs inside of there, which is a little bit different. Usually you'd only see 1 in there. You'd be using the rest to harass or defend the other sides. Doing an aggressive tunnel or a more forward tunnel on this right hand side for a bit more map control. I do like that from aka-goisUber, and he's making a tunnel there as well. So actually it's looking pretty good actually so far. I wasn't sure what to make of these players in these games, but actually it's not looking so bad from either player at the moment. Apart from that, technical going straight into the gap is going to die, and it was empty anyway. There was nothing inside it. No terrorists. Of course, he can't make terrorists because he's made so many tunnels already. Working nice and aggressive down the left-hand side. You'll notice it's not like the Czar's scuba game, where the Czar's just kept his worker way back here and didn't do anything for a while. Terrorist managing to take out looks like a flamer. Really well done. So I think actually, yeah, they had a terrorist in there and an RPG, and that's actually worked out pretty well for aka-goisUber. Really nice. Who's going to win this battle? It does make a big difference. I think because the quad's popped out and not taking enough damage, it is actually going to survive. And actually, this is looking pretty good for aka-goisUber. Nice defense on all sides so far. This is looking really nice, and I'm actually pleasantly surprised by how good these games are so far. Looking like both players are on the ball. A few units going down from U-ROLI and being a little bit wasted, which I really don't know who's going to win these games, to be honest. And that's what's good about some of these games. If you know who's going to win, it's just a steamroll. It's not fun to watch. But when you've got a really good close matchup between 2 players and you don't know who's going to win a real 50-50 matchup, that's what I like. It's looking like he is vanilla China, by the way, just in case I didn't say. I don't think I did. Looking like a dozer is going to go down here. And he's going to sacrifice them 2 RPGs. Don't like that, because you could have picked them up and carried on. But he's actually going to go for the second dozer. It's looking really bad for U-ROLI now. I might eat my words. Maybe aka-goisUber is a stronger player here. I thought U-ROLI was going to be, but as I said, I don't really know much about either player, so... Technical going to cause some more harassment. Is he paying attention? Going to be able to move that in time? I don't think so, but he has got a push coming here, and that's probably what he's paying attention to. That one does go down, but it was keeping U-ROLI distracted. Quads are going to come in here and cause them some severe damage. If these both get captured now for U-ROLI, that's good map control in the center, but the more importantly is this here. He needs flamers, gats, and outposts if he's going to be beating this, and U-ROLI is getting absolutely steamrolled in this game. You are victorious. Really nice aggression from aka-goisUber. I'm pleasantly surprised. I thought U-ROLI was going to win it, despite the armies. I thought U-ROLI, I just thought he'd beaten someone recently, and I thought he'd done pretty well against him, against a decent player. Might be wrong though. But well played. Pretty evenly matched, like supplies wise and whatever, but the most important thing was I think it's the type of units that aka-goisUber is killing, things like gats and flamers and stuff, whereas probably U-ROLI's most units that he lost actually was probably RPGs, so it's probably a little bit deceiving that. I'm just going to update the scoreboard, so we are now on 1-0 to aka-goisUber. So without further ado, then we will jump into the next game and see if U-ROLI can turn this around. Okay, second game, we're on Gorge Drought, one of my favourite maps, maybe my absolute favourite. It's between this and Tournament Desert Classic, I think. We've got in the south player position, we've got aka-goisUber with the purple air, my favourite colour. And in the north, we've got the orange nuke player U-ROLI. This is not going well armies-wise. for U-ROLI so far, and if aka-goisUber is playing as on point as he was in that first game, U-ROLI is probably going to be 2-0 down because these matchups are just not in his favour. I do think that first matchup is definitely winnable. The China and GLA is definitely winnable. You want to be getting GATs and outposts and flamers out on the map, making a nice big army, but this one here is going to be real difficult. Still winnable, but you're going to be relying on aka-goisUber making some mistakes or a little bit of luck, or I don't know what you're going to be relying on, to be honest. But U-ROLI is making 2 supplies, 2 warp factories. I was just checking out the supplies there. Supply placement nice and perfect. Must have been watching my videos and must have heard me mention it 150 times. So we've got V's out of aka-goisUber, just playing really nice and defensively. 2 war factories, going to be trying to get some GATs down the back here, also down the back here. It's a nice huge map, and one big advantage that Nuke does have is that he gets a GAT like tucked down the back of here, and then in the back here, this general area, then that's going to be really hard to clear out, especially if the Nuke player manages to get RPGs inside of there as well, which will defend it. Both players not paying attention very much over here. V's going to go low, GAT's going to go down. Battlemaster looking like he's going to get laser logged, but I think he's going to take out all 4 missile defenders. He's going to leave 1 actually just surviving. He's going to take this now, which is going to give him a little bit of map control. He's going to see, probably, you see what I mean about missile defenders and tank hunters, how big their range is. He's going to reveal this now, and that's a massive advantage. Maybe to make V's less imbalanced, maybe you should get tank hunters and reduce the field of vision, the range. Maybe that's what that's one way of nerfing the V missile defender combo, because they're just so overpowered. This V here is going to be the low one. It's going to go forward. It's going to lose its life for that, and the Battlemaster sacrificing that is definitely worth it. That's a trade you want to take all day as Nuke, because you've got 2 war factories. You can be spamming these all day. Whereas the V's are going to be pumped out of 1 war factory and are way more overpowered than the Battlemasters. This V is actually going to sneak through. I say sneak through, it's just going to go straight through, the middle. Some nice laser locks from aka-goisUber here. Both Battlemasters going to go on about half HP roughly. ECM could have run over that and saved the Battlemaster. Actually still saves the Battlemaster. Just a little bit sloppy from U-ROLI. This is really looking like aka-goisUber. To me, it's a stronger player, just based on these little things that I've mentioned so far. We've got a 5 ace here from aka-goisUber. I wonder how far aka-goisUber can go in this tournament if he gets through this first round, because actually he's looking pretty decent so far. I don't think I've seen him in like many tournaments and stuff before. Not sure where he's from, don't really know much about him. Maybe I've played with him before, but I really can't remember. Overlord's now out, which is exactly what you need, but the Visa's going to sneak down this left-hand side, and propaganda center probably going to be going down. These V's aren't even full. A lot of them are empty. Overlord is going to crush. Oh, that's a little bit strange. That's very strange. He was riding on the back of the V there, not completely crushing it. I think it's something to do with the hitbox. The hitbox and where the Overlord is going to be running over it. It wasn't quite over the center, but it was raised at the same time. It's a bit weird that the Overlord can be raised without crushing the V. That's very strange in terms of like the game's graphics and whatever.
Unit lost.
V eventually going down before after getting disabled. Got a drone in the center of the base. We've got a propaganda center being rebuilt. This is looking pretty good for U-ROLI actually. It's not been completely seamless from aka-goisUber. He did waste a load of Vs there and also sending in empty Vs.
Search and destroy.
It's got this huge army coming through the center, and this is going to be bad news for aka-goisUber. We've got V's coming down the left hand side. We've got aggression on both sides of the map from both players. It's going to be probably worse off for aka-goisUber because I really don't know how he's going to beat this army. You've got empty V's going down to the ECMs and Overlords. On this left-hand side, we've got War Factory going down, but this army here is going to be able to clear this base faster than them two Vs at the top left can do. And we want to send a GAT over here to harass this, attacking the commands, attacking the strategy center. Unit wasted there. Attacking the strategy center with an extra GAT is not good when the GAT could easily be over here harassing. You're allowing your opponent to still have a supply. aka-goisUber is really having a hard time. It's looking like a base trade situation. Not sure who's going to come out on top. Maybe aka-goisUber can make enough missile defenders that he can repel this off. You can pick off the ECMs with the fire base and laser locking. A little bit out of position here though. It's looking like all these missile defenders are going to go down. This is actually aka-goisUber is falling apart because they needed to be behind the War Factory, and it's looking like I really don't know who's going to win, to be honest. We've got Lotus here though, going to take a bit of damage probably from the Rangers. It depends if he's got retaliation mode on, I think, or if they're on guard mode. They're just standing there. Weird game, weird situation. The Overlord is going to clear out these though, and I don't think there's many missile defenders left. There is last V left, and it's got about 4 missile defenders in it. Yeah, U-ROLI's lost. U-ROLI's lost. I don't know why. Why is he just sitting idle here? Oh, very nice carpet, amazing carpet, and actually that might change the game completely. Just based on that, he was holding out for level 3. I was wondering why his units were just sitting idle while his command center was getting destroyed. But actually, he's got 5.3k as well. This is looking very, very good. Another V going across the map. This game has got me on edge a little bit because I don't really know who's going to win. Rangers now capturing this in the bottom right. It's going to provide a little bit more income. U-ROLI has to go back though and fight this V off. Command center is not going to be repaired. There's no... He's floating 6k. You could have built another dozer and you could have sat it at the back repairing this and making it last a little bit longer so that you can get these units back. But because he hasn't done that, this command center is probably... Well, it's definitely going to go down. It is now building a dozer. Just going to provide it a little bit longer because the V is going to have to chase this around and target the dozer instead. I would even be producing another one because you've lost this game anyway if you lose that command center. Why is he just not building a dozer and he's got 7.9k? I think he had one queued up, but I think it was a little bit late. So in all honesty, U-ROLI deserves to lose this. There's no way you should be winning a game with basic mistakes like this. It's just a matter of time now. That command center is going to be built. It has got power, so it's going to build at a normal speed. Literally all you have to do now is just bunker off fire bases, missile defenders. It's going to be nice and easy to bunker off. It has got the refinery, so units from the War Factory are going to be cheaper. It does give 10% off the cost of vehicles from capturing that. This V now can actually just play cat and mouse with the overlords and the ECM because this V, and U-ROLI seems to know it. Oh, I think he saw it, didn't he?
Extra large.
So overlord has got a nice big range on it as well. The V can just go back now and cause damage to these buildings. These buildings can never repair. It's not like USA where your buildings just repair for free, very slowly. Overlords are causing a bit of damage over here, but there's no way they're going to be able to kill that command center and all the other stuff in the time. Here you come, Spectre. And A10, GG. Just based on the A10. Where's the A10? GG. Just another reason why Air Force is so overpowered is because the support powers are so good. A10 Spectre at level 3, you got this carpet at level 1. It's just crazy overpowered. You're really not doing enough, not keeping up the pressure. Enough throwing. Did he throw a few units away? Can't really remember what he did, but ultimately just not enough to kill aka-goisUber. About the same supplies collected. U-ROLI actually killed more, and I think it's probably from killing the missile defenders. But aka-goisUber just killed the most important stuff and won the kind of base trade situation. I'm just going to update the score. We've now got 2-0 for aka-goisUber, so U-ROLI's got an uphill battle if he wants to win in round 1. Okay, so now we are on cold territory, and we've got in the north aka-goisUber with GLA in the green, and in the south we've got U-ROLI in the purple colour, again my favourite colour, and he is the tank general. So let's see what U-ROLI can do with tank against GLA. I would definitely prefer to have GLA in this matchup because it's so wide. You can have like tunnels over here, you can have a tunnel in the middle, tunnel over here, and tank has to kind of funnel his army either to fight over here, in which case GLA can just pop out over here and cause some harassment. So yeah, tank is in a hard situation. One thing I don't like about this map is the command center spawns there, so you're naturally going to build the power somewhere here. But you've always got to be careful not to build it too close to the supply, because then you've got to where the supply is going to be, because then the supply is going to be built at an odd angle, which it is here, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to get the perfect supply placement or not. Tunnel going up on the right hand side, which is pretty good. Don't like the placement though, because you're blocking the firing. Oh man, what is U-ROLI doing? Don't think he can kill it. Actually, he does manage to kill it. He's managed to go behind the tunnel, not just close enough to that bunker. I'm not sure if there's any places on this map, and there probably is, where you can build a tunnel where it can't be run over. But yeah, tunnel going to be denied. I don't like the placement because it stops the rockets firing out of here. I can hear technical already. It's going to try and kill the truck. A worker runs back into the truck, and the truck is probably going to give the technical scrap and vet. Nice scrap deny. This is the tunnel placement that I like. Although the flamer, because of these supplies, is going to be able to get over there and cause some damage to it. So really this whole area is going to go down unless these two units here can take out that in time. They probably are, but it's going to take severe damage. That building's going to go down, but it doesn't mean anything. Tunnel is going to go down and not cancelled, I don't think. No, it definitely wasn't cancelled. He hasn't got the money. That technical now is Vet 3, so going to be a little bit harder to kill. I'm not sure if it's scrapped up though. I think the scrap was denied again. It has managed to do the perfect supply placement there, and it is now going for a helix. Technical in the back. This map is awfully like Homeland Rocks, actually, with these back parts like this. Flamer is going to kill that supply, or it's going to be sold off. I think it was probably sold. The technical is going to be chased away. Flamer is going to go down to the Scorps. Supply going up in the center for aka-goisUber, so it's going to be on, well, it's actually a second supply now, isn't it, because that one there has been killed. So U-ROLI doing better in this game. Also this helix, I wonder if it's going to catch U-ROLI off guard. This technical, I don't think it has that big of a range, so you can't see the helix just yet, but if there's an RPG inside of there and he evacuates it now, did he catch a glimpse? Yeah, he's caught a glimpse of the airfield, so he knows there's an airfield on the map. He is already making quads, so he's expecting it. That tunnel still hasn't been cancelled, so aka-goisUber hasn't got that 800 in the bank. It's just kind of sat on the map, static. Only one worker collecting there. Scorps are going to go back. Tech RPG over here, just chilling out. Tunnel finally being cancelled. Couldn't see the flamer coming. There's no way you should be able to see that. Don't think so. Unless you saw it from there, from the tracks. Tunnel now being finally re-established on this right hand side. I think that was prematurely cancelled because he could have defended it. I also would do that tunnel a bit further forward. Second supply is re-established for aka-goisUber in the centre. Yeah, I was going to say another tunnel there or a supply there would be nice now. Probably another tunnel there for the time being. Tunnel going up here in the middle. And the longer this game goes on, the more I'm going to favour aka-goisUber, just because the GLA is always going to win a bunkery late game. Helix is now coming in. In my opinion, this is the wrong area to attack, because the bunkers... I mean, that Helix is already on 50 HP and it's achieved 0. It's absolutely achieved nothing, because these buildings can just be repaired. You want to use the Helix as an element of surprise, and kill like a whole army in the first instance. So we've got two GATs coming down this right hand side, probably looking for some workers, and if they park up there they might be able to kill some workers in the supply line. Two flamers are going to charge at the garrison and try and clear that out. aka-goisUber is paying attention. There's quads are going to catch the Gats and actually kill them both. I would like to see the quad scrapped up, because it either vets them or it gets some money or it scraps them up. I would really like to see that. Third supply from U-ROLI, really like that. He is on 3 helixes now though, and I think 2 of them are full, I would say. Yeah, 2 of them are full, and 1 of them is probably going to be getting the speaker. This is actually very decent. Not sure how many quads are out. I think there's a minimum of 4 because there's 4 there. One of the quads has popped out over here, and that, because he popped his units there before I think all the quads were inside of there, aka-goisUber might now, sorry, U-ROLI might now think that there's only 1 quad on the field, when actually there's 4, or even 5 by now. So yeah, I think he might just charge. Oh no, okay, he's not charging at that. That's what I would have done. I would have expected there's only 1 quad out. Because usually when you pop your tunnel, you pop all the units, you don't leave some quads at home. There were some quads out of position. This is why GLA is really strong. You can just bunker off these things with the tunnels. But actually, that was a complete distraction, and in the meantime, he even distracted me there. In the meantime, he is killing the tunnel over here, which is really, really well played. It's exactly what you want to be doing. You want to be distracting someone somewhere on the map, and then flying with your helixes somewhere else and cause all the damage. Doesn't kill the supply though, and is actually running away from these 4 quads. The 4 quads are trying to like circle the helixes, get around the back, and take them out. That bunker is finally going to be cleared out. Loads of units inside this tunnel though. If that flamer starts firing pretty quick, he might be able to kill some quads actually. Is 3 quads going to go down? Oh, 1 surviving just. Loads of workers going down as well. So that's actually a really decent flamer. And U-ROLI is looking like a different player in this game. He's really doing well. Really good distractions with the units. Really nice flamer just then. This third supply, nice and quick. His enemy's getting the oil. It's actually looking like a pretty decent game. Probably one of the better games that we've seen so far. About 3.5k for U-ROLI. I'd like to see more units here, and maybe a 3rd war factory. I'd also like to see an oil captured. Scorp's going to take out a flamer there. Helixes are now going to come in, but I think there's too many quads there, to be honest. There are too many quads, but he's choosing to sacrifice them in order to kill all the Scorps, because now the quads are not going to be able to handle the Battlemasters by themselves. So actually, I really like that. Actually, sacrificing 1 helix, he's actually got a backup anyway. Sacrificing 1 helix was a very good idea. This is aka-goisUber's base is getting completely trashed now. In the meantime, we've got U-ROLI with loads of units still back at home. Palace is going down. War factory or arms dealer is going down right now. We've got 2 quads here, probably even not enough to kill those 3 helixes. Terrorists, which is a good thing to make. 1 helix might go down to these 2 quads, but the quads not doing enough damage, just leaving the helix on about 5 or 10 HP. Helix is going to vet up, and aka-goisUber taps out, and that's U-ROLI bringing it back. He's also floating 11k there, which is impressive, but I don't like it. I prefer to see more units on the field. You see U-ROLI collected loads more. I think it's mainly because he killed that supply on the right side early in the game with the flamer, and U-ROLI destroying over double the amount of units. So really well played by U-ROLI. Just going to update the score. So now we are on 2-1, still to aka-goisUber. But let's see if now I feel like U-ROLI's increased his game level a little bit, and I really like that. And maybe he's just really good with tank against GLA, but yeah, I really liked his level of play there, a lot better than the previous games. Let's see if he can continue that through to game 4. So jumping into game 4 then, we've got aka-goisUber, this time with Super Weapon General on the right hand side of Barren Badlands against U-ROLI on the left with the pink USA Vanilla. What are we going to see here? What would you do? Would you do 2 supplies? Would you do 1 supply, 2 barracks? Try and go for the oils. There's so many variations of what you can do in a USA Murray. You can do 2 supplies, 2 barracks, maybe like a fire base, spam infantry all over the map, or would you do like 1 supply, 1 barracks, 1 war factory, like kind of Scuba did in a previous game when he played against Oz. So we've got 2 barracks going up for U-ROLI. Looking like also 2 barracks going up for aka-goisUber, and it's looking like a 1 supply build for both players as well, and probably going to be oil captures. U-ROLI has built his second Chinook now. aka-goisUber's Chinook is a little bit tiny slower. I think it's due to where the dozer starts in relation to the command center. So loads of ranges out for U-ROLI now. Probably just want to be putting these on guard mode in various places around the back of the base. Missile defender is going to be dropped off, and it's going to force the Chinooks off the supply line. So there's 1 Chinook not collecting anymore. You could be going and dropping that off while the Rangers fighting. This is a mistake from U-ROLI, leaving the missile defenders to die. That missile defender didn't really have a chance. aka-goisUber in the meantime is going for the oil capture. Missile defenders are going to catch this Chinook just, and it's going to leave it on about 50% speed rate. So that's they didn't kill it. It would have been better if he killed it, but it's still better than leaving it alive. So it's not too bad. But as soon as aka-goisUber wins both of these oils, he's probably going to win the game, because 2 oils and a supply is much more powerful than a supply by itself. aka-goisUber does have the weaker army, by the way, because of the super weapon generals. V's are more expensive, but he does have EMPs though, and you only have to build 1 power with the upgrade to have loads of power. These missile defenders are going to get in the supply line and probably going to take a bit of damage from these rangers first though. I'd like to see the rangers positioned walking over here rather than going around the back of them and chasing them. It could have walked diagonal. I think these are going to cause a little bit of damage to the Chinooks. Laser locked out now really quick, and you should be able to kill it. I think he is going to kill it. One of the missile defenders is probably going to go low though. aka-goisUber in the meantime has taken both oils. I think there is a pink unit there as well. Yeah, there's a pink U-ROLI unit there as well. 1 missile defender surviving. That is a mistake from U-ROLI. You don't want to leave units like that, and because of that, he's going to lose a yeah, he's going to lose it. Not even moving him far enough away. Big mistake from U-ROLI. And that's a really quick game. 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Was that one of the quickest games of this World Series so far? I'm not sure. You might have to check back. I'm sure we've had some quick steamrolling games before, but not as quick as 3 minutes 30. I might be wrong. Tell me if you've spotted the quickest game so far. But yeah, U-ROLI not doing very well with that USA mirror. I think as soon as he realised the enemy had the both oils and he's got his own supply and didn't cause enough damage to the enemy Chinooks, he realised it was GG, and that's why he tapped out so soon. So you see loads more money collected actually for aka-goisUber, and units destroyed for aka-goisUber is a lot higher as well, even though we're talking about tiny numbers here, guys. So yeah, GG, on to the next game. Okay, so we're on Blasted Lands for potentially the last game, depending on if U-ROLI can find that form he was in before when he won that tank against GLA, which was really impressive. I really like that. But he's on a bad matchup. I'm afraid he's got nuke against USA, so not going well for him at the moment. And on this map, it's kind of weird as well because got lots of choke points into the enemy's base. We've got 1 small choke point there, 1 tiny choke point there that's easily defended by that bunker, and then 1 tiny one here. So U-ROLI has to be either super aggressive, like establish like a forward flank like here with a war factory and a barracks, and try and break through and get in the supply line, or he has to rely on his enemy not blocking these off, which is something I like to do nice and early. Just block them off and just concentrate your army like through the middle or somewhere. Or you can just like push on one of the sides and just know that your enemy can never get in because you've done a firebase there or whatever. So aka-goisUber has definitely got the better army here. He's putting a missile defender inside of the enemy's bunker. It's going to provide a nice big scout for him, so he's going to see exactly what's coming. Of course, USA does have the drone as well, which has been positioned on this right hand side over here. We've got our laser lock on the Battlemaster, and the Battlemaster not successfully running it over. Another mistake from U-ROLI, potentially. Well, it's an $800 unit that you potentially didn't have to lose there. You could have just ran over the unit. Only got 1 Chinook over here though. I think that's because he has dropped off a. Is that because he's actually gone for the oil capture? That's pretty good, but if U-ROLI had played that correctly and ran over that thing, and also got some units in your supply line quicker, or actually, I don't know if he's done it the quickest, but if he gets them there pretty soon, it's going to cause big problems for aka-goisUber. It's going to be able to take some damage. I probably would say that oil capture is a little bit too soon. So Battlemaster versus V's, always a battle I hate to have with the Battlemaster. It's just gonna get owned by the V every day. Third supply going up for U-ROLI, and it's looking like China is probably the army U-ROLI wants to stick with, because China is actually looking pretty good, apart from that first run over that failed. Unfortunately, he's done the supply a little bit too close there, I think, and actually can't get the perfect supply off, but it's looking like he can bunker off this left-hand side. He's choosing to go for a more bunkery route rather than nice and aggressive. GAT is moving and firing at the same time, therefore it's going to do less damage to the V rather than if it just stands there. We've got 2 oils captured now for aka-goisUber, so his money is just going to catapult from now really far ahead. V out of position a little bit is probably... is it going to go down? No, it just survives just in time with the battle drone repairing it. Flamer now finally taking out the oil in the center. We've got a propaganda center going up at the back of U-ROLI's base. V is not paying attention, and he's going to pay for it with his life. He's going to go down. aka-goisUber choosing not to bunker off the sides. It's just leaving his base wide open, so he's got to constantly defend from any units that are coming in. U-ROLI's kind of giving up the aggression on this left side and just kind of bunkered it off. It's going to be going for Overlords and ECMs now, I would imagine. Now the propaganda center is up, I would also get a Lotus out and try and capture your own oil. This is going to be really hard for U-ROLI to win. Well done, killing 1V. And that was more poor rather than on aka-goisUber's side rather than good on U-ROLI's side. U-ROLI just had the Battlemaster there. I think he probably had retaliation on, he probably didn't even control it. Search and Destroy has been deployed, so the unit's now going to have more range. It needs TOV missile as well. Game has slowed down a little tiny bit. We've got a V here, we've got a Ranger here going for the enemy's oil, and it's looking like he probably may get it. This left side is now completely bunkered off. What I like to do here is build a supply there and build a supply there, and you can mine this a lot quicker. Build 2 rather than just collecting with 1. So it's essentially like you're on 4 supplies for a shorter amount of time, but 4 supplies is better. So 1v by itself against these Overlords and ECMs are not going to do very much. All of these units are going to go down for aka-goisUber, but I think that's actually a distraction, because in the meantime we've got V's here with an ambulance. The Ranger is going to be stopped, but this is looking very, very bad for U-ROLI. These V's have got a fair few units inside of it as well. 3,400 for the green player, 27 or 3,300 now for aka-goisUber. The range on these units is going to be really strong. Unlucky for U-ROLI, the supply has actually gone down. We've got a V that's vetted up as well. Loads more units back at home, also upgraded his power, so he's got plenty of power. Command center is going up. Actually, the oil was captured. That's very, very bad. And the gas chose to turn around at the same time. So now aka-goisUber is back on 2 oils. U-ROLI's supply was killed. That supply is way too far away. aka-goisUber is really causing problems with these Vs, and has actually managed to take out 1 Overlord. They've only taken minimal damage on these Vs. And these Vs are just getting stronger and stronger and able to tear through these buildings quicker and quicker. Propaganda center going down, war factory going down, more units vetting up. 1 V is going to be ECM'd and killed by the Overlords. and it's looking like the Overlords are actually probably going to go down too. All the missile defenders are evacuated. Good laser lock, a little bit of a bad laser lock on that one, but I think really U-ROLI knows it's GG. No laser locks and no micro from any of these units now. A little bit poor. Not sure what was going on in the center or anything, but this is looking really bad for U-ROLI. I think he's going out in round 1. I really can't see how he's going to win this. In the meantime, sorry, there is a Lotus capture in the command center, but it's really just, it's not going to win the game. It's just a little thorn in aka-goisUber's side, and aka-goisUber is going through. Just going to be a 4-1 victory for aka-goisUber. He really just played better in all of the games, apart from I really like that game that I mentioned, the tank versus GLA, where U-ROLI just did really well with that. Almost identical supplies collected, 20 units destroyed for aka-goisUber. Loads of buildings destroyed though for him, killed 6. So yeah, GG, and aka-goisUber will go through to the next round.